dragon looks rather nasty. You'd best not try to deny. A huge, green, fierce dragon bars the way. Congratulations! You just vanquished a dragon with your bare hands. Unbelievable, isn't it?
What is nostalgia? More importantly, can nostalgia ever live up to its own hype? Google defines nostalgia as a sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. Which begs the question, does Colossal Cave Adventure actually hit that point? Is this new version of Colossal Cave going to scratch that itch, or is it going to fall short? I am sure my history with this game in the past, link below, is why the team reached out to me and asked me to do this for them. And in the interests of fairness, I'm reviewing a copy that was given to me for PC a week and a half before the game released. I have not played this game on Switch or in VR. To understand Colossal Cave Adventure nostalgia, you need to understand the game's origins. It was quite literally the first game of its kind, the first text adventure ever made, and by text adventure I mean it had no graphics. Everything you did and saw was presented to you by way of various sized walls of text, and you would guide your avatar around the world with 1 or 2 word phrases. Now, you have 2 control schemes available to you. One mimics the basic control system of point and click via mouse adventures, something the developer of this game was very prolific with in the 80s and 90s, and, my personal preference, the WASD and mouse controls. Using one of these systems, you navigate around a beautifully crafted yet very empty world, solving what amounts to 2 types of puzzles, logic puzzles and inventory object puzzles. Gone are the days when you need to draw out your own map. There's one conveniently provided. Gone are the text descriptions. There is a narrator voice who actually reads the original room descriptions to you. But, unfortunately, also gone is the usefulness of a walkthrough. Or at least the usefulness of my walkthrough that I wrote for myself when I recorded my playthrough. Again, see link below. Of course, this caused me some distress in the beginning, and I feel those of you who may be considering the game on the grounds you remember playing the text version, or one of the adjacent games such as Zork or Adventure, may experience that first initial disorientation. We're used to treating a room as an entire object. We enter the room from one of our cardinal directions, we see everything, we interact with anything in the room from what amounts to the center of the room, and then we move on in another of our directions, moving from center of room to center of room. But now you enter a room, or in this case a chamber. You enter it from an often cramped path. I really wish I could have played this in VR, as I never got to experience the feeling of the tight, closed passages. And you have to walk around the chamber in order to interact with anything. And in doing so, even with the compass right there at the top of your screen, you still get turned around, and you find yourself backtracking unintentionally. You might even find yourself lost. And this can be frustrating for some. I mean, for those of you who love huge open-world games, or those who love first-person stealthers, pixel hunts, or you still love your classic point-and-click Sierra games, you're going to love this. But if your idea of a good game is a crowded battlefield, PvP first-person shooter, or something that gets your adrenaline pumping while you imagine the guy you're pummeling in-game is your boss, then this game is going to leave you feeling like you wasted your money. Because this is a game of patience. This is a game that is about using your mind to solve obtuse puzzles without any direction beyond trial and error, with a timer. More on that in a moment. You see, the object of this game is to spelunk caves, solve the puzzles, avoid the hazards, find and gather the treasures, and return them to the starting shack for a full score. It sounds easy, but it's not. Because there are 2 things in this game that hate you. Your lamp and the RNG. Now back to the timer, or as the game calls it, your lamp. Unlike most modern games, your lamp, which more than 90% of the time is your sole light source, keeping you from falling to your death in various holes that are never there when lit, has a limited lifespan. Now, At the time I'm writing this, according to a discussion with one of the staff, your lamp works as follows. Every time you enter or change a room, and every interaction costs you 1 lamp charge. But I was told this may change in the future. However, at this time, walking around inside the same room is free, which is good because you get turned around a lot. Just so you know, I did not exhaust the lamp, so I have no idea how many charges it has. A good tip, turn it off whenever you do not need it. Also, learn to use the Zizzy and Plug commands. They are your friends. The RNG is faithful to the original text game. By that I mean it's frustrating beyond belief and totally unpredictable. You can be having your best run ever, and out of nowhere, a little guy pops up on the screen, flings an axe or a knife at you, and just like that, boom, you're dead. Just dead. Nothing you can do about it. Of course you can resurrect, but it will cost you part of your score, and without ever doing anything wrong, you have to restart all over if you want to complete the game with a maximum score. This, too, is completely faithful to the original game. Which leads us now to the rest of what Roberta Williams' team has added. Sound and graphics. The ambient sound is great, at least considering the fact that I've never actually been inside a giant cave structure like this. It sounds like I imagine. I've tried it with both surround sound speakers, with a subwoofer, and a high-end headset. The same is true about the voice recordings. Here, have a listen to the narrator.
You are standing at the end of a road before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. A small stream flows out of the building and down a gully.
Now, listen to this troll you encounter crossing a bridge.
No one treads on my bridge without payment.
Unfortunately, some of the creatures pull me out of the immersion a little bit. Maybe it's because I was playing in pancake mode, but check out this scene with the serpent, which blocks your way in another puzzle. Now, I've had numerous pet snakes throughout my life, and they do not sound at all like this. Still, close enough? Again, maybe it's more immersive in VR. Hopefully I can tell you someday. Graphics are sort of hit and miss. If you look for bad, you're going to find bad. But it's that way with every game out there. I've never understood why people I know will complain about under 160 FPS or unrealistic cheek pores on a character and then tell me how much they love Minecraft or Stardew Valley. Now this game, it falls in the middle. This is not to say that it is bad. It's actually surprisingly good for a AA game release. And compared to the original game, even NetHack's graphics would be a step up. But the target platform for this game was a Quest 2, and it has to be able to run on the Switch, the PS5, and with plans to have a mobile release later on down the road. So yes, some of the creature rigging is a bit stilted. Your trees are not perfect cylindrical structures, and you can see the corners and edges in your caves. But that is if you're looking for it. If you just play the game honestly, let yourself become immersed, the flaws fade into the background and the true beauty of this game starts to shine. Now, here's the part you came for, the nitty-gritty. I want to tell you, this game is beautiful. Go buy it. But I can't. This game is not for everyone. If you're a gamer who looks forward to getting home from work, logging into an MMO, or maybe your hour or two of gaming each day is dedicated to logging into some PvP game where you want to frag your friends, or maybe some rando, then steer clear of this game. I guarantee you'll play it for less than an hour and either put it down forever or submit it back to Steam for a refund. If you ignore me and get it, please be in the first category, as games like this need support and funding to continue. If you're an old school gamer who played the original Colossal, or maybe you have a history of playing old Sierra releases, please understand, you can't go back. This game is not the same as your idealized memories. It is, however, a great game in its own right that will appeal to that itch you probably didn't even know you had. The rest of you, it is a reimagining of a piece of history. I imagine it will appeal to you more than the original. It is a bit lonely, but that contributes to both the feel of isolation and, well, the entire immersion. It is frustrating and it is obtuse, no doubt about it. But with it comes the feeling of accomplishing something that the majority of players of the past failed at doing. So yes, this game is beautiful. Go buy it. Not only that, go beat it. Thank you for watching my review of Roberta Williams' Colossal Cave Adventure. For those of you who do not know who Roberta Williams is, might I suggest you at least read the Wikipedia page on her, link below. However, for the TLDR, as a woman, myself, who's been in computing and gaming since the mid-70s, I'm often challenged by dude bros who still believe computing and computer gaming is the sole realm of men to cite just one woman who has made a difference in computers. Roberta Williams is my go-to. Her games and the company she and her husband Ken built dominated the PC games industry throughout most of the 80s and 90s. Many, if not most, of them can be found on Good Old Games, with many of my favorites linked below. If you want my advice of where to start with her classic library, start with King's Quest. It is what she is best known for.